You remember when he gave that testimony about the plague of the firstborn in Egypt? He said he broke the chief of the strength of Egypt by taking the firstborn. And that's what Abel offered unto God, the strength. I like that hymn that says, give of your best to the master, give of the strength of your youth. There is a reason why Jesus died, not in the declining years, but in the strength of years.
That's right.
There's a reason for that. See, he didn't offer unto God something that was in the state of decline. He offered unto God something that was at its greatest strength. Now, brethren, we are encouraged to do that too. Just as a side note, brethren, it is wrong to give your best to the world and then to come dragging into the assembly. The sacrifice of Christ teaches us he was as a tender root. He grew up before God. And brethren, he died as a tender root. There in Isaiah 53. He died as a tender root. He gave his strength unto the Lord, and that's an important thing, brethren, to see, important thing to see. Now notice it says he gave them the fat thereof. Fat's a little different in the scriptures as people refer to it today. The fat's like a rich thing. It's like the best. One of the commentators I looked at, it kind of brought it down a little lower, but they said when he says firstlings of the flock, he means the best of the best. He didn't pick one of the weaker lines and kind of take the firstborn or one of the weaker. He gave the best of the best. It's of the fats of the best of the flock he gave. See, all this, brethren, is giving us a picture of wholehearted offering and service to God. When Jesus offered himself, Jesus gave the best that he had. What is the best that Jesus had? His life. See, Jesus gave himself. I mean, what more could he have done in relation to the death and to what was needed for us than to give his life? That's what was necessary. That's what he gave. See, he gave, so to speak, the firstlings of the flock and the fat thereof. Jesus did the same thing. And brethren, the truth of the matter is God really won't receive any other kind of offering. That's what Cain's testimony tells us. Whatever may be related as to why Cain didn't get received and Abel did, one thing is this. Cain didn't give his best and Abel did, period. Jesus gave his best, he was received. He was received. Now, if you go back to the testimony there in Hebrews, it says, by faith Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. There was a comparison there. He gave something better. In Hebrews chapter 9, a little lengthy text, but I'll break it down. Jesus did the same thing. He offered a better sacrifice. Better sacrifice. It was therefore necessary that the patterns of the things in heaven should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these. Jesus offered a better sacrifice. Yep. See? For Christ is not entered into the holy places made without hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us. Nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entered into the holy place every year with blood of others, for then must he have often suffered since the foundation of the world, but now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. And it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment. See? He offered a better sacrifice. Now he's referring to actually the time of the cleansing of the temple and all the instruments related to temple service. You remember that was mingled with water, and they sprinkled that over all the utensils, everything that was going to be sanctified in order to be useful in the service of God. And that was necessary. It wasn't that Jesus' better offering meant that this other offering was unnecessary. It was necessary to the purifying of the flesh. It was necessary so that it could be a type of what Jesus would do. Okay? And that's true. It's true. But Jesus' offering was a better one by many means. First, that when the high priest entered into the tabernacle, they entered into a physical tabernacle, making it a pattern. That's what it was. When Jesus entered, he entered into the true holy place of the living God, a better sacrifice. Another reason why it was a better sacrifice is because if the sacrifice was effective in taking away sin under the Levitical system, it wouldn't have been offered more than once, would it? One time would have taken care of it, but we know through the Word of God that the blood of bulls and goats is not able to do this. And so it's offered year and year as a testimony of what Jesus was going to do. But see, when Jesus offered, one time. He offered one time and then he sat down. Sat down. See? Another reason why Jesus' offering is better is in view of the coming day of judgment. Jesus put away sin, and the testimony of its better offering will be when we stand in the day of judgment, there's no reference to sin. If you depend on the law, there will be all kinds of references to sin in the day of judgment. See? That's why it's so necessary that Jewish people who are trusting in the Levitical system have to see Christ. Because no matter how many bulls and goats' blood you shed, it can't take away sin. But his blood can, and it will be once again testified. Salvation unto God and unto the Lamb in the day Jesus returns. Because, brethren, it will be evidently clear in that day that Jesus has offered a better sacrifice. When we stand before God without fault in joy at his coming. See, so brethren, this is just one of many marvelous testimonies. And we go through this, you're going to see all kinds of testimonies. But these are all wonderful reasons to come to this table with a whole heart. Jesus has been effective in what he's done. And to come confidently before God. He's put away sin. What could stand between you and God? He's put the sin away. And to look, brethren, confidently to the day that's coming. No matter how far down you look at the road, look down in the godly's future. See, there's reason for rejoicing. Day judgment's going to be a good day for us. So let's offer unto God the sacrifices of our mind as we think about Christ in this regard, because God has left this testimony here in Hebrews 11 for us to be assisted during this time.